Hello there and welcome. This is my first ever stream and I am currently a unprofitable trader. This is not the account I trade anymore. I'm gonna show you what I really do. I just want to make sure my first stream have decent settings. Let's see here. Alright, I guess that's good enough. Alright, so I'm a unprofitable trader, or I have been for a long time. I did around...
Om du tycker WordPress är svårt, gör det enkelt med Manage Host.
I haven't paid for YouTube. So last year I made some money on trading. Not a lot, but some. Just gonna increase the volume a little bit. And I had issues with my strategy, with my mindset, etc. So in October, when I lost all my funded accounts, I just quit trading completely. So I made $10,000 in withdrawals last year. And this year so far, 0. And my strategy is completely different, and I'm gonna show you. I'm currently in a trade here. And I'm trading on TD365, which is a broker that allows you to trade CFDs. So I currently have 2 positions open. The first position I opened at 304. 304. Stop loss was, yeah, it was there. And take profit. I could have taken profit here, 5 hour, but I think we're gonna reach, maybe not this level, but I am holding for as long as I possibly can. Perhaps, maybe not the full position. That's my first position at least, taken down there. My second position, 332, and it's a bit smaller, because I didn't want to add a full position up here, so I added 60% of original position. 332. That will be up here on the pullback. So the stop losses are moved to 307. So this is actually in profit or break even, and this is that's 25.6 contracts, 150 risk on this whole position. So the way I actually trade are the strategy of Al Brooks and Trader Tom, or Tom Hugard as his real name is. And it's actually a market trend reversal. And since I am bullish on Nasdaq or CFDs or indices in general, and we have reached not really discount, but if you look at the other indices, they are pushing hard. So I decided to go long today. And that's these 2. And I'm trading a demo account after just studying for 5 months from December to end of April. So this account is from the beginning of May, and I'm up $8,822 on a 10,000 account, so 88% in 2.5 weeks. And I might actually take off my position here, just because I am not certain we're gonna push. As you know, during lunch we retrace quite some some amounts. We can actually retrace all the way down here because we're still under the EMA 60 and the 5 now. So let's take this off. I at least made 400. Yeah, I made 400 or so. 420, 430. I took, this is my problem really. When I trade, the issue I have is I traded too much. These are the same trades, or this was Wall Street 30 actually was a sell here. And as you can see, I'm switching sides all the time before or until I actually find something that I like. So the way I trade is, you see, it's retracing here again. So I didn't do as much as I could have. I made a bit more than 2 hour, and that's the second is barely break even. So the way I trade is market trend reversal, and since I'm bullish on the higher time frames, I'm bullish on the 5 minutes, which is the time frame I actually trade all the time. And I have two setups I actually trade, or 3 even. Here is the first trade I took today. In the UK 100 or the FTSE. And this is actually much more cleaner. So major trend reversals are basically, I'm gonna lower the volume a bit. Major trend reversals are basically a continuation pattern on the higher time frames. And I'm using the EMA 60 as the major trend and the EMA 20 as the reversal. So when we opened up here, I'm gonna change it to London time. I took my entry. This actually had 2 setups in it. So I have the first bar negative, which is when you open up the negative bar for the first 5 minutes. When you open up a negative bar for the first 5 minutes of the day, you actually wanna take your entry below it, and then you have to backtest the stop loss. I made 5 points here. And this is a strategy that Tom Hugard actually backtested a lot. Very much actually. He backtested it, I'm not really sure how many times. I think he said 2000 days or so. So whenever we open up with a black candle or a negative candle at 8 AM, you want to be a buyer below it. So I was a buyer below it at 7:18. So actually just right below it. And I held for quite some time. This is, I held it for an hour 10 minutes, an hour 10 minutes. But I should have actually, as you can see, held it for all the day into 3 p.m. because as most of you know, the last 30 minutes usually retrace because you create this wick So 3 a.m. or 3 p.m. is actually a good time to hold it. So I could have made 13R, but I actually made totally today. I opened up at 7,300, so I made almost 20R today alone. And that's because you snowball. You start with 2% of original 10,000, so that's 200 risk. Now you do 2% of 1,700, so that's 340 risk. So it snowballs as you grow. And here is the setup. This is the setup. First setup, it was 2 setups. The second setup is the major trend reversal, which is a reversal pattern. We could have done it this way, but the more accurate that I did was this way. And once you break the EMA, you want to look for some gap bars. Gap bars are when price goes above the opposite side here, and then the next big push are usually the last push. So we push down, and then we made an actual double bottom here. I didn't see it at the time because I already was in here, and when I entered trade, I closed the trade ASAP. So I actually had 2 setups in one here, which made me more confident on my trade. So I let it run for 800 or so. I am a beginner, and I decided when I reach 10,000 in profit, or 100% of the account, with a completely safe risk of 2%, then I'm gonna add my first $1,000 or take a funded challenge on my funded futures. That's the futures firm I used before, and they are very quick on payouts. Whoops. So yeah, let's see how my setup goes. As you can see, I shouldn't have closed my trade. This is the same setup I had. You have ignore this because it's pre-market or Globex hours, and I usually want to mark it up. I'm not sure on Sundays when to really look at it, but we are, as you can see, inside the range after a massive range day. So I didn't expect much of a move today, but that's my target. So my entry was, you can look at it different ways again. You have this trending here, and then you push above here. But because this is pre-market, I ignored it. We go back down, and now I'm confused. We're ranging hard. Once we do that push, you can mark it up like that if you want to trade on a bigger time frame. But I like the 5 minute, and I focus on the last 20 candles, which here would have been, yeah, about that, pretty much. And as you can see here, we can do this. As Al Brooks teaches, you don't have to be perfect with your trend lines. They're just there to visualize what you actually see. You can do that. Then you have the gap bars here, but we haven't broken the trend line. You broke the trend line here with 4 candles, went back down. We're consolidating here. We have the gap bars here. That usually means next push is gonna be the last push. Pushing, doji bar, weak Weak bull candle, doji. We are confused. We don't know what happens, and this is why I actually closed. What you wanna see in a bull trend is, let's look here. We can take this from Monday. You have these. Doesn't mean a lot. We broke the trend line, made some gap bars. That means next push is gonna be the last push. We're pushing really hard here, and here we open up. And I don't do the first bar negative on Nasdaq, but if we would have, we would have, since Nasdaq are so, it's pretty fucked up. So I usually like to take the actual candle, so 20 points in risk. We could have made 22R in a day. However, my setup happened here. Last 20 bars or so. Broke it. Barely any gap bars, so I didn't take this trade. Otherwise, I might have taken it here. Pushing. Gap bars. Good amount. But it's lunch, so I don't want to take a trade here. Ranging. So what I do in ranges, I mark it up. And this was Monday's trade. And my stop loss placements are usually here. It was such a strong candle. We could have made it here, but I do this one down here. And then we hold until price or time shows you it's time to stop. And here we closed it at 1500s for 1.5 hour. And that's because I was so safe with my stop loss. I could have taken it on the bull signal, which were here, here, here. We have a bunch of bull signal bars here. That is one, but it's before anything happened. I could have taken my trade on all these. And then I would have wanted my stop loss to be below this one. Then we could have made 3R. And that's because a bull signal bar, once you have an idea where you want to go, they are really good entries to take positions on. And this is a bull bar. I don't like when that happened. Alright. A bull bar is basically when price decides to open up here, go down a little bit, and then just push, and close almost at the top. Could have done like that. So that's a bull signal bar, which you have in 3 places here. 1, 2, 3. So all those are actually good entries. If you're aggressive, you could have entered here, here, I actually could have taken my stop loss below these, then I would have lost here. But I could have taken new entry here. Stop loss below that one. And just hold it until 3 p.m. So that's how I trade. Since this is my first video, bear with me, it might not be the best ones. So what I'm looking for right now are for the time to reach 1:30. Back to New York, 1:30. So 2 more hours. Because 1:30 is when the lunch break is over and the volume starts coming back into the markets. What I hate about this platform is that you don't really have a chart or any history, but you can see 9,000 profit here. Here you can see my setups like here, but I want the chart, I want the win ratio and all that, but you don't have it. But this is a really good platform if you wanna trade well. So the thing with CFDs is that if I wanna trade Nasdaq here, I wanna risk, this is how much you risk per point. So I usually do 10. It's usually, it depends, 6 to, I have done max 15. That's 15 per point. So once I see how much my risk is in points, like for this example, I took my first here somewhere and it was 33. Since I trade 2% of my total account, I could take 10 contracts here. So yeah. So what I wanna make or do with this channel is I wanna show my journey in trading and try to inspire somehow and show that people actually do it. And I'm not gonna lie like all the popular people do right now. The actual people the only people you can follow are Patrick Wieland and Tom Hugard and Tanya Trades, and Trades by Matt. Those are 4 people that actually execute in real life. You can also follow Jade Cap because he have a proven record as well. And Bernard, I don't remember his full name. But that's the traders that actually trades for real. TGR and all those shit people, they are just scammers. And you can know that by them not showing actual data. And as you can see, this is a demo. I wouldn't lie about that either. And since this is my first video, I'm gonna cut it here. And the thing I'm gonna do from here on, once I make my last 750, I'm gonna start funded account or deposit $1,000. And then my plan is after a month, I add another $1,000. And for each month I'm profitable, I add another $1,000. So with this growth, 92% in 2.5 weeks, I would be able to live and trade for work next year somewhere. But this is not, I don't expect to do this. I expect to do 10% a month. And that is why I want to start funded accounts. So I'm gonna do the 50k because I'm still not sure about my trading. So the 50k account gives you a drawdown of 2,500 or a Now they removed the intraday drawdown. And you can withdraw a max 1,200 every 5 trading days, which is good because it's so easy to blow accounts. And with a drawdown of 2,500, I want to be able to trade and lose 10 in a row, so that would actually be 250. But I am not sure on my trading that way. I do win 60% of my trades, but I want to be extra sure, so I'm gonna do 200 per trade. And I'm gonna do max 2 losses or 3 wins per day, or a 500 daily loss limit, or a no, profit limits are not good because first of all they do not have a consistency target in the starter. So yeah, this is my plan: 2 losses or 3 wins, or 500 daily loss limit, so I can lose my account in 5 days. I'm allowed to lose 500, but 2 losses are 400. But I could, yeah, I'm just gonna do 500 because that feels much better. So well, we will see. And I preferably would want the hourly to go down here and then back up here. But we have the 4 hour, which is supportive here. That's why I don't trust this 1 hour too much. So yeah, that was everything. I'm gonna get a better microphone next time and probably not be sick. Yeah, and maybe make this some quality educations. As you can see, we are back down here. If we wanted to scalp, we could scalp here. You want your stop loss where price have reacted hard. This is not hard. This is hard. At least 1 to 2 hour. It's below what I actually trade, so I wouldn't take it. It's still in profit here though. And it's the lunch retracement. And for those of you that actually want to learn to trade, expect you to train for up to 5 years, because that's the average out of all successful traders. But if you want to fast track it, get the Albrook's courses. They're great. Thank you very much. And I hope to see you here again in the next stream. I'm gonna try to stream London's session and let's do New York session. When is that? I am not sure when that is. Oh, it's the 15th. Okay, so price opens here. So 3 AM. These are the hours I'm gonna trade. and it depends on my work schedule because I'm not a full-time trader and I'm probably not gonna be this year, but I'm gonna try to document my journey these times of the day. So well, thank you for watching and hopefully I will have one view next time. Goodbye.